Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Paige here, once again with another video for you guys. So as you would know, Arrow along with Flash and Legends of Tomorrow got renewed for next season, which means Arrow will be heading into its 5th season. Now this video is going to be on how to make Arrow great again in Season 5. Now Arrow has had the reputation over the past 2 seasons, being that Season 3 and Season 4 so far, of having a solid first half of the season and its second half being, well, average to say the least. But before we go ahead, if you want to leave a like, it'll be very much appreciated, along with sharing this video with any of your friends that may watch Arrow or have some interest in Arrow, to leave their comments and even your comments in the comments section about what you want to see in Arrow Season 5 to make it watchable for you again, to make it really good. And also, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. So I think most of us, when we saw the conclusion of Season 3 with, Oliver and Felicity driving into the sunset, were basically like this.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So we weren't left that thrilled. However, when we saw the Comic-Con panel with Steve and Amell dressed as the Green Arrow and basically playing the Oliver Queen character, it sounded like this season would be a redeemer and would embrace the Green Arrow character and the Green Arrow lore. So we saw some of that with Oliver becoming the Green Arrow by name. He ran for mayor, which is much like it is in the comic books, and even Starling City was changed to Star City. But this all played back up to one of the biggest issues of Season 3 and now the show in general, Olicity. Now the lack of chemistry between the two characters is laughable and borderline cringeworthy, as well as the fact that it takes so much screen time per episode where it just becomes just overwhelming and you just get really sick of it. Now this should be one of the first things that's actually fixed. The drama that comes from this Tumblr created relationship is just, tainting the show too much. Depending on what happens this season at the end of it, they need to dump Felicity, not completely from the show, but like Oliver and Felicity, and that, and just make Green Arrow and Black Canary happen, for God's sake. That's depending if they don't kill off Laurel, which hopefully they don't, because that's just retarded. Now personally, I liked Felicity in Seasons 1 and 2. She was just the nerdy chick that helped out, but since they made the fantasy of all of Tumblr a reality, nothing good has come from it. Also, what the hell was with the story arc with Felicity and her spine? She gets shot, gets put in a wheelchair for a few episodes, gets a biomechanical spine fixer thing. The next episode she is walking. Not only was that really stupid, but also it's pretty offensive to disabled people to put that on screen if you think about it. You would think when Mark Guggenheim pitched that in the writer's room, someone would have spoken up.
What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Okay, so enough about Felicity. Now let's move on to the fight choreography. Now it's still good, but has moved down a peg from what it used to be in Seasons 1 and 2. Why is this? I have no clue. I'm pretty sure they have the same stunt guy working on the show. It just needs some improvement. Maybe it's just because the quality of the script and the general plot is going down, so the choreography for the stunts is going down as well. So maybe just in tandem, they're just going down at the same rate. Now the last thing I want to talk about before we get onto what they should do in Season 5 is about Steve and Amell. Now Steve and Amell, who plays Oliver Queen, said this when he played Old Man Oliver Queen on Legends of Tomorrow recently. He said, "I've got to say that playing this version of Oliver Queen and the action that we got to do on Legends, it was so cool and the set was awesome that I actually got a little bit jealous. I was like, wait a minute, wait a second, why did I have to come to a different show and spend 3 hours in makeup to get to do something this cool? There's an awesome battle scene and it's really cool for me because I love having to play some sort of physicality." Now doesn't this seem like a guy who was thrilled to finally play a cool comic book character? Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, he already is playing a potentially cool comic book character that hasn't been embraced lately. Now Stephen Amell will be in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 later this year, which is good for him. He needs a kickstart to his movie career. Seeing Arrow, if it fucks up at the end of this season or doesn't make changes in Season 5, could be coming to an end sooner rather than later. Now onto what should be done in Arrow Season 5 in a quick dot point format for you guys, but as I said, if I put something here that you don't agree with, or something that I've just left out that you want in Season 5, make sure to leave in the comment section below. First dot point, more action, less drama. Just more action. It's pretty self-explanatory. Stop all this needless, almost fake drama that's just created for the show to fill up time. Just put more action in there, more fight scenes, make it awesome. Better storyline to intertwine and involve all characters. We can't just have a storyline that just involves Oliver. But you know what I mean? Like, intertwine all characters. It is Team Arrow. Now that they've created that team, they need to intertwine every single character and have them all have either their own individual storyline that intertwines with the main plot, or just have them all on the same storyline. They need to do that. Actually make Oliver the Green Arrow and not the Hood calling himself the Green Arrow. Make him not necessarily all the time having this like lighter tone, but when it's necessary have the lighter tone. This season there's been like 1 or 2 instances where I'm like, okay, that's something that the Green Arrow would do when he's not fighting. It's not happening, and they promised that and it still hasn't happened, so they need to live up to that promise. Relate the flashbacks to present time like Season 2 did. That was done perfectly then. I know it's in a different sense because Slade Wilson came back and Slade Wilson was on the island and then he was back in present time. Going by rumors, he should technically be in Russia next season, and we know what he did in Russia because in Season 2, I think it was, when he starts speaking to the Russian guy as if he knew him. So if they can intertwine that back to Season 5, maybe Season 5 has some sort of Russian inspired villain, that would be really cool and would actually make the flashbacks relevant, because at the moment they're just like, okay, here's a minute that I'm not going to be really caring about for the moment whenever they pop up. Now, if Oliver doesn't become mayor, make him try and get Queen Consolidated back by being like this badass businessman. Now, going by the Flash, in the future, Queen's Consolidated exists again. I know in Legends of Tomorrow they had like smoke technologies, but that's a distant future. That was just like, they just made that up. Honestly, that's just made up. Everything on there you can't relate back to Arrow at the moment, but with the Flash stuff, we know that Queen Consolidated merged with Wayne Enterprises. So if they can do that, bring back Queen Consolidated, actually give Oliver like a storyline that he can follow when he's not the Green Arrow, that would be awesome. Next up, the villain doesn't have to be like this heaps powerful threat, but he just has to be interesting and threatening enough where we're, you know, drawn to him. We're like, damn, this is a cool villain, this is a good villain for Oliver to verse. If they do something with Russia and tie into the flashbacks, as I said before, that would be really cool because it makes every single scene in the show relevant and you want to keep watching it. And the last thing, this is not a surprise, less Felicity. For the love of God, just less. I'm not saying kick her out of the show, but just not make her so prominent. Does that sound like a good plan?
Sounds like a plan to me.
So thanks for watching, guys. As I said, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, but also leave your opinions in the comment section below. What would you like them to get rid out of Arrow from Season 4 or Season 3 leading into Season 5? And what do you want them to put into Season 5 to make it much more interesting for you to watch and just for, you know, anyone else in general to watch? As per usual, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and I'll catch you guys later, and goodbye.